Cosmic shopping, baby!
To purchase t-shirts and merchandise with my art on it, just click on the eye on the top right-hand side of the screen and it will take you right to my shop.
So recently I just posted a video on split training, and I covered like the 3-day split, or say you train a body part once a week, or say you train a little bit more frequently. But somebody just asked me about, what about if you train the whole body 3 times a week? So say you train Monday the whole body, Wednesday the whole body, and Friday the whole body. Is this a good training split? Is this something that would work or whatever? And again, this is going to be on an individual basis. But one thing I know is, and at least I read this a long time ago, is that Steve Reeves actually trained this way. He said because he had so many other interests to follow, it was good for him to get his workouts out of the way 3 times a week and then pursue other interests such as writing and whatever else he was involved in at the time. The first few years of my training as well, I also, just trained upper body. When I was a kid, I was 15, 16 years old, I was just training upper body 3 times a week, and I was getting good gains with that. So I trained the whole body, back, chest, shoulders, do 3 to 5 sets, sometimes 6 sets for each body part. And I was getting pretty good results, but my workouts were, about an hour long, hour and a bit. But once you start putting legs in there, your workouts might be a little bit longer depending on what kind of volume you do. So this is kind of like the age-old debate, right? What is the proper amount of volume? What is the proper amount of frequency? And each one is going to be based on your own limitations. What is it in your life that is a big factor? Like, do you have 2 hours only every couple days to train? Is that your schedule? Or do you have an hour every single day? In my experience, I find working out intensely and hard more frequently and more often seem to produce more results for me. Okay, but it doesn't mean that working out for extra long period of time with lots of volume and then taking a little bit of extra rest, that could work too. I mean, it's pretty much the principle of the Mike Mentzer program. I mean, I remember when I talked to him in person one time, he said that he believed that training once every 8 days was more than enough, just 1 body part or 2 body parts. And I think that's a little extreme, because if I did that, I would always be out of shape and nothing would ever happen except for I would just look like I didn't train at all. So it depends on the person. I think 3 days a week, full body workouts could work, but you will find that your workouts might be longer than an hour or 45 minutes if you start to get into a little bit more volume, like 3 to 5 sets per body part. You might start to actually get into, an hour and a half type program instead of an hour or 2 hours in the gym. The other thing that was mentioned is that, this program only works if you stay within the 12 rep range. And in my experience, there's no such thing as only staying within 1 rep range. If somebody's saying there's this only one way to do it, then I would say that's kind of bullshit, really, because each muscle group, muscle fiber responds differently to different types of rest and also different types of intensity. There are sets that you will perform where you'll do 3 minutes or 4 minutes rest in between sets. That's going to have a different effect on the musculoskeletal system than if you're doing super fast sets with lighter weight but only resting 30 seconds. Both will make you sore, both will cause some sort of response in the muscle, both will be advantageous to a bodybuilder because they're actually hitting different muscle groups. So it's not about just sticking within one parameter, it's more about mixing them all in like a painter using many different colors. The one foundation on which all of this sits is that you must get stronger at whatever rep range you're at in order to produce muscle mass. So say you can do 50 reps with 185 pounds. If you can start doing 50 reps with 195 pounds, that's stronger, right? So there is a strength increase. So it was brought to my attention that, the person was saying that they train 3 days a week with, full body workout, but in order for it to work, they had to stay within the 8 to 12 rep range. And I'd say that's not necessarily true. You want to mix the rep ranges up and stuff, but the reason why that might have been said is because you are getting more rest, so you want to make sure that you are hitting your muscle fibers in a way that they are still recovering by the time you come back around to them again. But ultimately, again, this is going to have to be something you go on feel on. There's really no absolutes in this. There are a few ways to measure whether a program's working for you or not. One way is, you see bodybuilders always looking themselves in the mirror, they're always checking themselves out, and besides the whole ego thing, there is another reason for this. A lot of it has to do with measuring the level of pumpitude, okay? You know, that how much pump they're feeling from the muscles. Are they engorged with blood? Is there a soreness there? And inflammation showing that there is something happening in there, you know? And usually when you notice that a workout program is eliciting a larger pump, you know, and this has to do with your eating as well. So it's not like anything separate. You're eating, you're sleeping, and your workout. It's all together. This is basically called the program, okay? Once you are noticing that all that stuff is in alignment, you'll notice that your muscles will look more full. There will be more of a pump, and there will be a feeling of more strength and tightness in your system, okay? And that's how I measured my workout programs. You know, my strength, of course, I can measure these things, but how I felt was also just as important. Right? So just go on how you feel, and if you are feeling like you're making gains and your muscles are looking different, then chances are this workout program is for you. If you're noticing that your strength is going up a little bit at a time, then that program is for you. But if it's just staying, you know, stable, like nothing's ever really changing, you know, there can be other factors involved, but it's always a good thing to err on the side of caution and try different training programs. Don't just get stuck in one rut and stay, you know, okay, this is the way I'm going to do it. Do the 3-day-a-week system for, you know, a period of a few months or 6 months if you want, okay? But then change it up. Start going to super frequent or less frequent and higher volume and higher weight and lower weight. Mix it all up, you know? And conduct your own experiment. Just keep on doing this, and that's where you're going to find really the sweet spot of where your training lies. So I hope that helps you a little bit, and thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and share if you can, and take care for now.